Out of all the things that you can do today with your photo with advanced software, I've got one thing that you cannot do, and it's a physical thing that you put on your camera called a CPL, or circular polarizer. Gonna be honest with you, it actually kind of blows my mind, so I'm gonna give you my best example and description of how it works. All I know is that it does work, and it's amazing. No matter how you slice it, you can darken things, lighten things, use effects to get multiple shots, blend them. None of that can actually change the way this system works. Usually a circular polarizer is good for removing reflections off the water, which you might be used to because, you know, the whole polarized thing. You might have a pair of sunglasses that are called polarized lenses. And this video will actually help you understand how those work as well. Circular polarizers, like the filter that goes on your camera, is best used for removing reflections from water, specifically the clouds in the sky. Something you don't notice with your eye when you're at the river or at the waterfall or at a lake is the reflection from the sky. But this is one little thing that you could put on your camera and dial it in, and it will take your photo from beginner to intermediate. A circular polarizer, or any polarizer really, all kind of work the same way at taking in light and filtering it, and I'm gonna explain to you a little bit of how that works, but I'm not super advanced with all the science involved, so I'm gonna do my best. Light waves are transverse, like a vibrating electric vector. A beam of unpolarized light consists of waves moving in the same direction with their electric vectors pointed in random orientations about the axis of propagation. Plain polarized light consists of waves in which the direction of vibration is the same for all waves in the circular polarization, and the electric vector rotates about in the direction of propagation as the wave progresses. So basically, in summary, some waves of light are filtered out of the filter, and it creates more clarity and less mess. A picture taken at 90 degrees from the sun can take advantage of this polarization, which means sometimes if you're not pointed exactly at your subject, you can't get full maximum effectiveness of the polarization. But it still will work, you just won't get that maximum effect. So the main thing that you'll be doing is removing all the reflections from all the waters. But here's some other things that are super beneficial. Say you're on a path and you have a nice scene set up, but all these reflections are happening on each individual tree leaf. When you dial back the filter, or dial it forth, or wherever you find that happy spot because you're 90 degrees from the sun, you'll be able to clean up the look of all the leaves in that shot. Not just one or two, all of the leaves in that scene will be reduced dramatically. And this is one feature that I use a lot, and I love it. There are a lot of manufacturers out there that have color cast issues, and you'll get a weird blue hue, sometimes a pink, sometimes a red. But I've noticed with the Nissi V7 CPL kit, I don't really have those issues, and it's very true color. With the V7 kit, you actually put the CPL behind the ND filters, which enables you to rotate the camera with ease, and it also allows you to use the adjustment dials on the kit itself, the little filter holder, which I found super helpful. Another thing that your CPL can do is reduce the amount of light that enters into your lens. This is a good thing for people that might be shooting a waterfall close to when they need an ND filter and it's dusk and you want to shoot for 30-second long exposure. Just use a polarizer instead, and it gets that 1 to 2 stops of light reduction, and then you're golden. It removes atmospheric haze. Like for example, if you are at the top of a mountain, but you want to take a photo of the next mountain that you can see, but it's a hazy day, there's a lot of blue light because it's close to noon, you can dial in the filter and it'll actually make the sky a deeper blue and create that more contrast, and it actually reduces the haze in the sky as well. Almost like a super clarity, like you're bumping up contrast in Photoshop, but it's not the same. And removing reflections from the glass, this is kind of an interesting one, but what's interesting is you almost can remove them like 100% in some scenarios. Depends on where the light is reflecting from, kind of like 90 degrees from the sun. But at night, your light sources may be neon lights from city buildings and stuff from happening in the middle of a downtown area. If you dial it in, sometimes it's super impressive with how dramatic of an effect it can create. All right, well, that does it for today's video. That's all I have on all the polarized light stuff and things you can't do in Photoshop. Hope this was valuable to you, and I hope it wasn't too much information. Take it and run with it. But first, you're gonna need that filter. Go get yourself a circular polarizer, put it on that camera lens, go out there and take photos and have fun. Anything like, I screwed it up. Cool, here we go. You're probably common, or, okay. Camera cannot do, oh, not the camera, the editing. Usually failed immediately. So the way that works, nailed it. Next point, and we're moving on. Super helpful, super helpful. idiot. I would like to say a huge shout out to Nissi for sponsoring this video, but not really even this video. They sponsored me. And when they reached out, I was super happy. I mean, I've worked with all sorts of filter companies in the past, and this one was special to me because I know that they're good. When we started this whole thing and I got my hands on the filters themselves, I was blown away, and this is something I'm totally proud to be a part of, because these filters and the kit and everything that has to do with it are actually a legit brand, and I'm proud to get out into the wild and use these filters. So I hope you guys would consider getting a Nissi filter yourself, but if not, at least try a circular polarizer. Removing gloss from a tree bush, from a tree bush, such as removing leaves. It doesn't remove leaves. Boom, nailed it. You're welcome.